In Wrath of Angels, we are to destroy a drug lab and collect some scientists. And in this mission, we get roughly about 9.5 million ISK and 114,000 loyalty points. It's a pretty decent mission. The fit up on this ship is a little bit different. I'm using inertia stabilizers, damage mods, 2 tracking computers, some named guns, and I'm using infrared crystals. And we're going to look at around 660 DPS. The objective in this mission, though, is not easy to accomplish because what we need to do is we need to travel 70 kilometers to the actual structure we need to pop. And we can't really do that. So what we do is we use a Cyno character, which will be able to go and pick up the scientists while we're blasting at the structure. And it's best if you get your Cyno character. For example, I've got QKill2 in system, and QKill2 will be going in a shuttle. The NPCs will actually not touch the shuttle, and the first thing that we'll do when we come out of warp is we're going to target the drug lab. Once we come out of warp, though, the Cyno alt will immediately warp to the Dread. It's a lot faster because the Dread generally warps pretty slow. Once we've done that, we're going to turn around, and the inertia stabilizers will allow the Dread to turn around relatively quickly and make speed back. There's no tanking involved in this mission. We don't really need to tank, but you're going to take a little bit of shield damage, but nothing terribly hard. So right now my Cyno character is in warp, and I'm going to be targeting this drug lab here. Once your Cyno ship is there, you're going to want to target this Angel. Just make speed towards it because it'll make a big difference, because once the structure blows, you won't have the ship suddenly go at 0. So once the drug lab comes into range, I'm going to open the guns and we're going to start blasting the structure. And my Cyno ship has arrived. So my shuttle is moving towards the cruise missile battery, and you'll notice that the NPCs are going to focus on the Dread. And that's alright, because we're not taking that much damage, and we can just turn around and we can start making speed if we want. And we're being webbed by webbing towers, so we can just turn around. We don't want to worry about getting probed, and we can just make speed, and the Dread moves relatively quickly. It takes about, well, I'll give you a better perspective. Traveling the distance from here to the structure of 75 kilometers slow boating is pretty hard. And a lot of people think, I can do it with a capital ship. It's really not a good choice. I recommend go in with a shuttle and you'll be able to pick that up. It'll take about 2 minutes to travel that distance. Grab the scientists and the drugs and then warp back. So as you can see, my shields are sitting at about 88%, and I haven't turned on any tank or nothing. I'm just making speed while the NPCs are pretty far away, and I'm making speed towards the missile turret. We just want to make sure that once we grab the scientists and the drugs and the shuttle warps out, the Dread warps out as well. And it's not a very long mission, but it's one that you actually need help in collecting the actual objectives. So right now my shuttle is about 17 kilometers away, 16, 15, and the drug lab is about to pop. And the reason I say is that when this drug lab pops, well, the shuttle's going to stop, and we don't want it to stop. We want it to keep going. And sometimes those few seconds makes a big difference. So now that the drug lab is about to pop, I'm going to switch targets to the cargo containers, which are now 6 kilometers away. Now they're 5, 4, and we're going to open, and we simply scoop. Well, we're going to scoop that one, and I'm going to scoop the other cargo container, which has the scientists, and then I'm going to be warping to station. Once the shuttle is gone, or once you see the shuttle warp off, you simply click warp on your Dread, and the Dread is able to warp out quickly as well. And the mission objectives have been completed. And that is Wrath of Angels.